Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next one of the final reviews for Halloween month. This one and one more, and this one and the next one, the final one, are celebrating anniversary reviews. So with this one, the second to last one of Halloween month, which I reviewed this long time ago, basically time I started this channel, long time ago. So yeah. But I wanted to revisit this film again because I love this film. It's one of my favorite comedies, and it's also very close, if not number two. If not, I'll put this on even. I don't know. It's like I would still say it's like the very close second because I saw my all-time favorite zombie film. I said before, Dawn of the Dead is the original Dawn of the Dead, because I saw this film years before this came out though. So that's why I still say Dawn of the Dead is a slightly, by this much number one still, by this much though. But if I were to still say though, this film is still dead even. I would still put dead even with Dawn of the Dead though, because this is the 20th anniversary from 2004, or 20 bloody years as been advertised for its re-release, which I did see earlier a couple months ago. That is the 20th anniversary of Shaun of the Dead. And I do have the DVD of this because I did take some DVDs out before I put them in the storage unit, so... But I already gave my reasons why, so... But I managed to take this one because I love this film. Yeah, so 20th anniversary of Shaun of the Dead. And I'm a big fan of this film. I love this film. It's one of those... It's my... so close to being tied with Dawn of the Dead for number one, for best zombie film. But it's also one of my favorite comedies as well. And also, as I said, big fan because, as you see, I'm wearing this shirt, 20 bloody years. Yep, 20 bloody years. Yep, for his 20th anniversary. I'm wearing this shirt right here. And I also got the poster advertising for his 20th anniversary. Which I did see this where it said on AMC, for his advertising. So yeah, I did see the re-release of this, and not only that though, not only for the 20th anniversary re-release though, but also my other theater that I also go to, right? They do culinary cinemas. They do like late night dinner shows, right? And they handpick other films. I would say not randomly though, but one they did was Shaun of the Dead, and they do they do a culinary cinemas, which means they have they do a film inspired menu, which I'll show you right here. Which I do have. They even make the menus for these as well, which I did grab a few of them in the theater because hey, I love the film. Hey, it could be collectibles, Yeah, see, culinary cinema, film inspired menu. They do They call the appetizer. They start the appetizer, right? They call it the Winchester, right? Then the main entree. Got your pig snacks. The dessert. You got red on you, And I think they didn't give the name of the cocktail list, which I don't drink cocktails anyway. I'm not a drinker anyway. But I think they call the one the Bloody Mary. I think it was, as they said. But if I remember though, and so yeah, but this is the film-inspired menu for Shaun of the Dead, which the food was. By the way, the food is great. By the way, when I go to not only Shaun of the Dead, but I do other late night dinner shows. Where I've seen like Goldfinger, some other films as well. Jaws, I did see Jaws. So yeah, so it shows I am a big fan. I am a big fan of this movie, So. I love Shaun of the Dead, and I was 13. Yeah, I was in middle school when this happened. God damn, 20 years, and it seems so long ago. Jeez, 20 years, and just the film is just awesome. It is awesome. A lot of people love the film, and it still maintains a 92% Rotten Tomatoes. It got critical acclaimed praise. 7.9 to IMDb is good though, but I would give it a much higher, like in the mid 8, like an 8.5, or if not a 6, or 7, to be fair. So, but yeah, and all the critics love the film. Like on the poster it says right here, funniest zombie, one of the funniest zombie movie ever from Good Morning America. And of course the critics on here, the late director, the zombie master director George A. Romero calls it an absolute blast. Peter Travers from Rolling Stone calls it keeps the blood and the laughs gushing. And director Peter Jackson of the Lord of the Rings movies, the most entertaining film I've seen all year. Newsweek calls it a bloody hoot. Even Stephen King gives it a 10, saying it's destined to be a cult classic, which it has. It is. To me, I would call this, from a 2000s movie, I would definitely call this a classic. I definitely would. I definitely would call this a classic. Even from the 2000s, I would say. Because this film has a lot of people love the film as much as do I, And what can I say about the film? Or even 20 years, what can I say about the film? It's directed by Edgar Wright, who's worked with Simon Pegg even before Shaun of the Dead came out. They came out with was it called Spaced Out or something? I should know this stuff by now, but too busy doing other things. I can't remember everything. So, but they've worked together before, and including with Nick Frost as well. Which Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, they've collabed together a lot of stuff. Of course, they're best buddies, Which I wish I could see that they are best buddies in real life. Of course, we're together from Hot Fuzz, which I enjoy. The World's End, which to me is the least of the Cornetto trilogy. It is. That's definitely my least favorite of the trilogy. Well, not in order though, but I just think I wasn't really big on World's End. Sad to say though. I mean, they were good though, but just the World's End is just, for some reason, it just didn't grab me though, like how this film and Hot Fuzz did. Maybe because it was from Hot Fuzz to World's End. It was the 6 year gap period. I don't know, but Hot Fuzz I really do enjoy. I reviewed that not that long ago. I love the film too as well. But Shaun of the Dead is easily the best of the trilogy. And like I said, I love Simon Pegg as an actor. I've enjoyed him in other stuff. I enjoyed him from when he started in the Mission Impossible sequels and among others. And of course, his buddy Nick Frost, I enjoy. Which they collab together with the trilogy, and of course when the animated movie, The Adventures of Tintin, and then of course Paul, the alien comedy film that Seth Rogen voices, the alien Paul. They joined together in that film as well. And also Nick Frost. I can't wait to see how he portrays Gobber in the live action How to Train Your Dragon movie coming out next year in the summer. Yeah, Gobber with the changeable hands. Stoic's his best bud as well in the series. So I can look forward to see how he would look and portray as Gobber. Yeah, and Nick Frost I enjoy as an actor. Of course, he was starting the Badlands TV series. So Nick Frost and Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, I really do enjoy them. They're a good comedic duo together. Of course, with director Edgar Wright, he also did a great job. Of course, there's other films I enjoy from this film called Baby Driver from 2017. Baby Driver with of course, I had Kevin Spacey, and we all know how he is. We know about Kevin Spacey now, though, but he was in it. I forget who was also in it as well. I forget though. Damn. But Baby Driver, I enjoy. What was it? Was it? No. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, I was not really big on though. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, yeah. But Baby Driver I enjoy, but Edgar Wright, of course, it would have been really interesting if, because he was originally going to be the original director of the MCU's the first Ant-Man movie. I would love to have seen his version of Ant-Man. I would have. But studios are always such. The same thing happened with Scott Derrickson when he was going to direct the second Doctor Strange movie, and look what happened there. But I would like to see Edgar Wright's version of the original first Ant-Man movie of the MCU. But like I said, what can I say about it? Of course, there's so many Easter eggs that has this in this movie. I when it shows the Universal logo, right? You already have the first piece of music that was from George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead, when the Universal logo shows up, and another piece of the George A. Romero's score from Dawn of the Dead, when Shaun and Ed, they're discussing what plan, how they gonna, what's the plan of either when going to Shaun's mom to take care of Philip, and then get Liz, whatever. The piece of music you hear from Dawn of the Dead is also playing during that montage as well. So, and of course, even George A. Romero enjoyed the film so much that he even asked Simon Pegg and director Edgar Wright to cameo in his film Land of the Dead. They're both playing zombies when they're taking people are taking pictures with them in the photo booth. That's their cameos in George A. Romero's Land of the Dead as well. But yeah, all is said and done, I still love the film. But the story, once again, to repeat the story, in England, there's a guy by the name of Shaun Riley. If you want to know his last name, is Shaun Riley. He's a salesman at Foray Electric. So the place he works at is Foray Electric. Of course, Foray, of course, is named after Ken Foray, who starred originally in George R. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. So yeah, Foray Electric. He has a girlfriend named Liz, played by Kate Ashfield, and she wants a little bit. They want change, because most of the time every night they come to he comes to the pub, their favorite pub, called the Winchester. So they want to get out and do more stuff, and as there's it's like, well, Liz is like, well, it's not like I don't like Ed. Ed, it's not like I like you, and he's standing right there. All right. Or Simon Pegg, Shaun does the same thing. Well, it's not like I don't like Di and Dave. Guys, it's not like I don't like you. They're sitting right there, So they want to try something different, like go eat at a nice restaurant, right? And then, of course, the opening title with I forget the score was, but it's like da 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 da. And one thing I want to mention about this film, not that it's one of my favorite comedies or zombie movies though ever, but it's I always harp on the word nostalgia, right? But this is but the word nostalgia to me resonates with this movie because during the time when I first saw this and later when I will watch this, this film is nostalgic to me because even after I saw this film after when this came out in theaters, a lot of times I would just sit back then I used to stay up late. I used to watch this all the time, late nights. Just like I said, just sitting in the dark in my room. Eating snacks. Just watching this when it's very late. Back then. And just watching how cool this movie was, all the moments and characters and stuff, Yeah, that's why I would say this is one of the more nostalgic. This film is one of the most nostalgic memories I have with this movie. 20 years ago, yeah. Even years later, I would still do it. From then onwards, I would still do that, including with, of course, with another zombie series when. Back then when I was starting to get into watching more animes back then, like in 2009 and 2010, when I was starting to get into watching animes, like, which led to today, right? Of course, one of my personal favorites I discussed, is one of my, I would do the same thing, with High School of the Dead, That's why, as much as wild that show is, though, but like I said, it's just more on the story and characters what I care about, not the lewdness or the fan service. It was the same thing. It was getting the same nostalgic feel when I was watching Shaun of the Dead late night when I was staying up late. That's why it's High School of the Dead. I put that as one of my personal favorites of animes on my list of favorite animes because of that. Not because for other reasons though, but just the same thing with that though. Was the same thing just. Resonate with this. That's why I would say Shaun of the Dead is one of the more nostalgic movies for me personally, because of childhood memories like that. I would do. Of course, I was 13, and then onwards. So, but still, it's a significant memory for me for this movie. That's why that's why I would put this as a personal thing movie for me. Like, yeah, I would definitely put this on my top 10 favorite movies of all time if I would. I would. If yeah, I think top 10 would be too small for them, but it would definitely be on my personal list though. All time favorites, yes. But anyway, as I was saying back in the story, like I said, with the score, with the opening of all the people, you know, going through the same motions, right? And then Shaun's other room who lives with them, Pete, which the guy he's not here though, but I've seen him in the films. Of course, he was in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. He worked for the Nova Corps, and of course, he was also in the action film Spy, which I enjoyed both those movies. His room, Pete. He's kind of sick of Ed being around. You know, he wants him to go home. And then later, when Shaun leaves, he misses the message that Liz to book the table, right? And so. And then you get him at his work. One of the actors who works with at Shaun's work is young Rafe Spall, who's been other stuff as well, which I remember. Who cameos in? Well, he was starred in Hot Fuzz, and then cameos in World's End. But I also remember seeing him Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. He was the main villain. Mills, wants to sell the dinosaurs for money, right? So yeah, young Rafe Spall there. And then Shaun's stepfather, played by Bill Nighy as well. Later played Davy Jones in the second and third Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Bill Nighy's been in a lot of other stuff, including, I remember seeing, of course, Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Of course, he was starring in the Underworld movies as well. I would say he's a good British actor, Of course, the other parts of the Cornetto trilogy of Edgar Wright, Hot Fuzz, and World's End. Yeah, he's a recognizable actor as well. So, he forgets about booking the table. He tries it, but they're booked up. So, she goes, to Liz. They have an argument, and of course, with David, played by Dylan Moran, and Shaun's like, "Get fucked, Four Eyes. Why don't you go out with her if you love her so much?" It's the way he was making that face before he said the line. Of course, because she dumps him, he goes and sulks at the Winchester with Ed, having some drinks and stuff. And then I'm not going through the whole thing because we already seen the movie already. But then, like, as soon as they leave the pub, of course, one of my favorite moment of mine is when they're just bantering. Of course, the zombie, which they don't know yet, though, is in the middle of the street, like, oh, and then of course they both doing the rhythm, right? Oh, oh. So do the same bass or freeze. Just the way they were doing it in sync, it's been funny, And so, of course, Pete has an argument with them because that Ed's more of a loser than you are. Knows that Liz dumped you. So you need to sort your life out. And then of course he got bit, which I thought was a crackhead, but he got bit. And then the next morning when he goes to the local shop that he always goes to, of course, even from the beginning as well though, but in the second that he goes there, of course, zombies are roaming the streets. So, but I really enjoy that. When he walks to the store and all the way back to the house, it's all done in one take. It's all done in one shot, which I do like about that though. So if he walks to his house, to the shop, and then all the way back to the house, it's all done in one shot, which I really do enjoy that part too. And of course, as he's walking, he's oblivious to everything, not knowing what's going on. Of course, that's one of the things about it. He's just oblivious. Like the shop, he opens the door to get a drink, a Diet Coke, and doesn't see the bloody hands on the door, or slips on blood though, and so he's totally oblivious to what's that zombies are roaming the streets. So, and also another funny moment where he turns on the TV, and as he's flipping through the channels, they all say one complete sentence, right? As he's flipping through the channels, it's all saying in one sentence, like, no officials prepared to comment. Religious groups are calling it Judgment Day, and they're piling on the streets of London as a series of reports of serious attacks on people who are literally being eaten alive. Yeah, it's all forms one sentence, which I thought that was clever too as well. And of course, Ed tells Shaun there's a girl in the garden. They assume that she's drunk. And of course, when she falls on Shaun, which the first thing, it's funny though, and Ed takes the camera, and they know something wrong when he pushes her and she gets impaled by those umbrella stands, which at first they kind of feel bad though, but when she gets up, no moaning in pain or agonizing pain, just gets up and we see the hole through her, which is also, it was a nice shot of her when it shows the hole and it shows their heads right through them, each one. So they know that something is wrong, so because there's another fat zombie comes in, and they start listening to the news again. Of course, the groom zombie, right, walks in because they constantly always leaving the door open constantly, so he managed to walk in. And I always loved their reaction when they look up and the groom is there. Just Shaun screams and Ed's reaction. Whoa! Fuck you! I always love that. I always love that reaction of them. Oh, for God's sake! Oh, he's got an arm off. Get him! I just love the reaction to that. You know, I always did. That was one of my funny moments. You know, they reacted, get off the couch, and then get him! Oh, he's got an arm off. Get him! Start throwing stuff at him. Nothing. Of course, when Nick has the glass ashtray that does it. So then, of course, when they take out the two zombies, of course, when they throw stuff, nothing works because they're just throwing junk at it. Of course, with the records, they're just going right through. Oh, what to throw, what not to throw, right? And then, of course, when they get into the shack, of course, that's when they get the shovel and the cricket bat, smashing them in. I found out that Pete has also been bitten, so he's not responding to them. And then realizing, he's going to call Liz, but his mom calls. And which, of course, her name is Barbara. Of course, they say the line to George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead, right? He says, because they're gonna go over and get her, and then Ed goes, "We're coming to get you, Barbara." Yeah, the famous line, of course. They're coming to get you, Barbara, which is on the poster as well, right there. They're coming to get you, Barbara. but it says, "We're coming to get you, Barbara." And that's when we get the montage of them laying out the plan to get them from his mom to Liz, right? And of course, the music from Dawn of the Dead is playing. So, of course, when they released another, or when they say, Nick Frost says, "Any zombies out there?" And Simon Pegg goes, "Don't say that." "What?" "That." "What?" "That. The Z word, don't say it." "Why not?" "Because it's ridiculous." And so, but then Shaun finds Pete, he's a zombie now, in the shower. What was it? "Oh, sorry, Pete." And then, as they're leaving, the kid that was playing soccer earlier hits him in the head with it, and then Nick Frost pushes him, like, "Get lost!" So as they're driving, they hit which they thought they hit a person, right? And they go back, and Shaun's like, "Are you alright?" But it's a zombie, so he's perfectly fine. He's like, "Oh, thank God for that." So, Shaun talks to his mom, of course, talks to his dad, who his stepfather, and so, because they have a history of not seeing eye to eye, which his mom knows, but which of course Philip, Bill Nighy's character, has a little heartfelt chat with them later. So they're going to take him with them, but then Ed, he crashes Pete's car which they were driving, because he wanted to drive the Jag, which is Philip's car, right? He always wanted to drive one of those, so he deliberately crashes Pete's car so he can drive the Jag. It's like, I guess we'll have to take the Jag. And then Philip, he gets bit, and then as they get in, they're driving, and they head to Liz's place. So they go off while Shaun goes and gets them. and tells them they're going to go to the Winchester. So they get all cramped in the car, and Ed, he's hidden zombies, and Bill Nighy has a heartfelt talk with Simon Pegg. It's like, being a father isn't easy. You were 12 when I met you, and I've always loved you. And then he dies. So he had the little heartfelt moment with may not see eye to eye though, but he loved Shaun, for being a father to him. It was a little heartfelt moment there, but then Ed pulls over and just like Shaun just gets mad at him for like, stop telling me to chill out. But then Philip is now undead now, so they have to get out, but the child locks are there, and so he has to leave him in the car, and they have to walk now. Which they see a zombie girls munching on this guy with Ed told whether it was in the pub with him earlier the night before, right? Snake hips, always surrounded by women, and they see a bunch of zombie girls are munching on him, So, and then we meet with the funny scene where Shaun meets with his other ex-girlfriend, Yvonne, which the girl plays Yvonne. I always look at the characters, Yeah, okay, yeah, Jessica Hines, which she's worked with Simon Pegg and director Edgar Wright before the TV show called Spaced Out beforehand. So yes, I just want to get that right because who is she? So yeah, she's Jessica Hines, who plays Yvonne in this, worked with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost in that little series called Spaced Out. So but it's funny, like his ex, and with her set a line of people that looks exactly like Simon Pegg's crew, Like, and her boyfriend is played by Martin Freeman. Of course, back then I didn't know who he was back then, because I didn't know who Martin Freeman was back in 2004. So yeah, but now because I'm probably sure people who watch this now probably miss. Oh, it's Martin Freeman, Yeah. So yeah, Martin Freeman, he has a cameo in this as Yvonne's boyfriend. Of course, the other people look exactly like Diane, Dave, and Ed as well. So, they two hug it out, and as they're walking past each other, they look exactly like each other. And of course, one of the funny scenes when they go over the garden fences. Of course, Shaun goes, "Never taken a shortcut before." She comes over and it falls off. Of course, that funny scene as well. And then, as they're over the fence, but Barbara is missing. Shaun hears her screams, and he jumps with a trampoline over the fence. "Mom, I'm coming!" This scene right here. I'm coming! And then they attack that one zombie in his pajamas, so break through the fence. And, of course, with Dave and Ed, they're just standing there, and Simon Pegg used the metal pole to impale him through a tree, and he tells Ed and Dave's like, "Feel free to step in any time." Did all right. Don't want to cramp your style. So he goes and sees if the coast is clear, but it's not. It's littered with the streets are littered with zombies. David is complaining, and then you get the moment where they have Diane, played by Lucy Davis, try to get the movements, the sounds to act like zombies, right? And Barbara, played by Penelope Wilton, and she has this blank stare, and just like, "Barbara, that's excellent." "Oh, sorry, dear, I was miles away." And of course, the quote when I have the pop, which I'll get. As I already mentioned, because I also got the pop autographed by Nick Frost as well. I'll have to get Simon Pegg's though, but I have the autograph from Nick Frost as well. And as the quote right here is there is a okay, Ed, your turn. I'll do it on the night. This is the night. What is that? And of course he says the line right here as autograph. It's like, who died and made you fucking king of the zombies? Yeah. Who died and made you fucking king of the zombies? And Shaun goes, his impression, and Ed's like, yeah, that's actually pretty good. So they pretend to act like zombies to walk through the hordes towards the building. And of course, the zombies starting to catch on, but Ed's his cell phone rings, and he's like, 2 seconds, and someone's like, what? We didn't say that, but he's like, so he goes and knocks out of his hands, and he gets pissed at him, because it's like they were right, like Pete was right about him. He has been holding him back, doing stupid things, it's like, I've spent my entire life. Look at me. I've spent my entire life sticking my neck out for you, and all I ever do is fuck things up, make me look stupid. But I'm not going to do anymore. Not today. And all the zombies are just standing there watching. So, but then Dave he goes and stupidly takes the garbage can and throws it and breaks the window. So, but they know they're going to follow them. So, I do like the idea. That Simon Pegg goes up there and makes the distraction for the rest of them. It's like, over here, and it leads them away. Pretty good strategy though. Although he managed to luckily push his way through the horde though to get the lead on them. So yeah, and so they're sitting there waiting for him to come back, and of course Dave once again is complaining. Complains he does he does. And it's like, what do you think if he does come back? You think his master plan is going to extend it to anything more than sitting eating peanuts in the dark? So, but then he comes back and say, hey, there is a back door, David. I was trying to tell you how to smash the window open. And David's like, well, I was the one who was blowing our cover by having a tiff with my boyfriend. He's not my boyfriend. And then Ed gives him a beer, and Shaun's like, thanks, babe. So they're just sitting waiting it out. The power comes back on, but it's the fuses. He goes and flips the fuses to watch the television. Then he flips one switch, and he noticed that a light shows them zombies that actually followed him. So he just shuts it off and pulls the shade over. And then, of course, once again, Ed, he stupidly he makes a noise, that game he was playing earlier. And so now they're all surrounded now. Then John, who owns the Winchester, appears out of nowhere. And of course the scene where the jukebox plays Queen's Don't Stop Me Now, which that song has been I've heard that song numerous times in films, like with this film, and then with of course with Sonic the Hedgehog, Shazam. Even I heard recently in the new Venom movie, The Last Dance. Yeah, when the Venom became the horse, the Venom horse, right? As they're riding, that song was playing. I'm like, that song's been heard a lot of times. So, oh, and of course also hardcore Henry as well. I can forget that one because I enjoy Hardcore Henry. Yeah, so Don't Stop Me Now was played a lot of times. But of course, this is the best I've heard of, because in the scene, Chris, when they're using the pool sticks, going against the beat, hitting him with the pool sticks, going with the beat, and then one thing leads to another when Diane hits Shaun in the head with a dart. I mean, his reaction getting hit with a dart is that's how you react to getting hit something like, especially if you got hit in the head with a dart. Unlike sometimes, like, characters don't react when they get hurt or something like that. Sometimes, point taken. Alien Romulus. Yes, Alien Romulus. When who's the character? I don't give a shit about the character, but he was when the acid was dripping on him. It's like he doesn't basically. It takes like a few seconds to figure. Oh, the pain. The pain acid is dripped on him. I mean, it's not. I'm like, when someone's burning you, it's like an instant reaction, right? the guy doesn't instant react when flesh eating acid is burning through him. Shaun getting hit with a dart, he had an instant reaction. He screamed very loud in pain when he got hit in the head with a dart. Compare, it takes him like a minute for him to react. Acid is eating at him in Alien Romulus. Stupid, you know. Yeah, I never got a chance to review this for Halloween month though. But yeah, I told before, I hate Alien Romulus. One of the worst films I've seen this year. I knew I wouldn't like the film. I knew I wouldn't, but I wouldn't open-minded. But look what happened. I was right. I'll have to review this some other time though. So, the six his head in the jukebox. The gun was actually real, which he thought was fake. So they attempt to reload. They come in. He shoots one in the head. It turns out Barbara got infected. She got bit by that guy from before with the pajamas and the robe, you know. So she dies. So Dave is making the choice to shoot her because she's going to turn back. Which, yeah, point taken is she's come back. She will kill them though. But Shaun's debating. But you know, it's his mom though. But and then ultimately he does it himself. He shoots her, and then he does give Dave a good sucker punch, deserved though. And then before he chance to apologizes, they break through the window. Of course, the goriest scene of the movie easily is when he gets torn apart. Easily the goriest scene of the movie, of course. And now and then Diane goes into the zombie horde and just hits them with his dismembered leg. Of course, in a special feature, like almost like in a comic strip, she does survive. She get hit up in a tree, still holding the leg. So if in that case, she did survive that because you don't see her die though. So, and so then ultimately, Pete is there. He bites Ed, and then Shaun shoots him in the head through the eye. He's like, first says, "Pete, I said leave him alone." And then I believe he lights the bar on fire, but the bullets get roasted. But they go off. They do get a couple zombies in the head. So they hid in the cellar, thinking that there's no way out, because the escape they're going through is not open. And so they're planning like trying to suicide themselves, shoot themselves. But the thing has a control panel, so they can get out though. But Ed decided to stay behind because he says, he holds them back, And then of course he farts once again. Yes, I'm not big on fart jokes, but it always did get a laugh out of me because back then though. But I know. But I'm not overall. It's basically 99.9%. I don't like fart jokes, but this I did get a laugh out because between the two characters, and he's like, "Oh, that's not funny." He's like, "I'll stop doing it when you stop laughing." I'm not laughing. So he tells him, Shaun tells him, "I love you too," as they go up, and then they're about to fight to the death. But when the army comes in, and then Yvonne is there as well, so. To help them, get them to safety. And then six months later, like, they use the zombies to, like, do, like, hard labor and game shows and stuff, And now that Liz has moved in with Shaun, now his place is completely clean now. And so he goes into the shed, and he has Ed there, zombie Ed, chained up, playing PlayStation 2, which the video game that Ed was playing earlier was Time Splitter, I think it was, yeah. And so he's just having him play the game, playing the remote. And then the film, and of course it ends with Queen playing My Best Friend. So yeah. One of the more nostalgic. This is why this one back then is more nostalgic. It's one of the more nostalgic films because, like I said, I had so many memories. Just having fun watching it late nights. It was just the feel of it, Even the same thing, like, while I was back there, I was watching, High School of the Dead, which, High School of the Dead came out later, in 2010, afterwards, though, but I think I was getting that same feel vibe, so, because, High School of the Dead came out after when I graduated high school, so, but I was getting that same feeling I was doing with Shaun of the Dead, just watching it late night, just eating popcorn or other snacks or whatever, watching it at a late night, so those are good memories of of this film and like I said, High School Dead Y is one of my favorite animes because of that. But Shaun of the Dead, I love the film to death. I would put this as one of my favorite films of all time, but as long as it was comedies, favorite zombie movies, alongside with Dawn of the Dead, yes, but is one of my favorite comedies, definitely in my top 10, whatever, but everyone does a great job in this movie. Director Edgar Wright did a great job, which him and Simon Pegg also helped write as well. The music it was nice to hear bits of the pieces from the scores from George R. R. Miller's Dawn of the Dead, but the rest of the music of the movie I enjoy. The cast, like I said, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost do a bang up job. Kate Ashfield, I thought that she was also good, still good as well. Dylan Moran, who plays David, he was a d bag that you like to hate, but did he deserve to die? No. Penelope Wilton, who plays his mom, which I later see her in Steven Spielberg's of Disney's BFG, The Big Friendly Giant, which wasn't like when she played the Queen of England, which during the end of the movie they drink that green liquid, we made them gas, fart, that I did not like. Bill Nighy I also like as an actor as well. It was nice to see him there still. Lucy Davis, who plays Diane, helping to help make him do the movements to be like zombies, act like them. So the choice, like the moments, like all the Easter eggs, like I said, dance to the beat of Queen, or the throwing the records, or all the stuff that I explained before, which a lot of people say something know the moments, the funny moments in this movie, So, yeah, I would definitely, to me, this film is a 10 out of 10 for me, because I love the film to death. Like I said, one of the more nostalgic movies for me. That's why I'm a big fan of the movie. I said, I got the 20th anniversary shirt. I said my autograph pop of Ed. Like I said, the culinary cinema, like I said, why I saw this twice re-released, because this was a special late night movie they decided to do, So I got this film inspired menu, and the 20th anniversary of the poster. It was which again it was great seeing it in the theaters, which before the movie played, you have a special introduction from director Edgar Wright, saying, hey, seeing this 20 years, happy to play this in the theaters again, So at least I'm glad that Edgar Wright is still very proud of the movie. He is. Which is glad to hear that he is still proud of the movie. Which I'm sure that Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, I'm sure they're still proud of this movie as well, I have no doubt about that. So yeah, 20 bloody years of, or 20 anniversary of Shaun of the Dead. You know what? I'll just hold it like this because this deserves it. So 20 years, the 20th anniversary of Shaun of the Dead. I still love the film, so one of the most nostalgic movies for me on my list. Like I said, the memories I have was just, like I said before, it's just one of those kind of films that I have just really fond memories of, just enjoying myself watching the movie, like having fun, So 20th anniversary of Shaun of the Dead. Definitely give this 2 thumbs up. Definitely deserves it. I'm not much on ranking stars though, but I would definitely give this 5 stars. Because for me, I love the film. It deserves the 5 stars for me. Probably maybe my dog agrees. That's why he's whining about it. So, but yeah, 20th anniversary, 20 bloody years of Shaun of the Dead. Still love the film to death, Still love this today. I'll never get tired of watching it. It'll always be funny for me. So, yeah. So, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the final review of Halloween month. Also, another anniversary review of also one of my all-time favorite horror films as well. So, look forward to that. See you next time on the last review for Halloween month. Look forward to it.